County Sesquicentennial Celebration, 150 years. So, oh gosh, about 3 years ago, I believe Mayor at the time, C.J. Wax, put out a call for people wanting to do the City of Rockport's grand celebration of 150 years, knowing that the county was the year after, but that was demolished or didn't happen because of party. So now the county really gets to celebrate and everybody really gets to join in, so it's kind of cool. And guess who has agreed to step up and chair this thing, this huge project. I think after the presentation today, you're going to really thank these ladies for stepping up. So we have Dave Stiles and we have Stranahan. If y'all want to come forward, I'll flip the slides and y'all do the presentation.
Well, we'd like to talk to you today about the Sesquicentennial. The main events will be happening in June, but we're going to be celebrating all year. So we're starting with a January 30th kickoff party, and there's information for you on the table about that that's coming up. Next. It's very interesting what happened here, and this is a bit of a history lesson. But Rockport was part of Refugio County when the counties were set up in the 1800s. But then Rockport grew, Refugio population shrank, and so Rockport wanted the county seat. Got into a tussle on this, and to solve it, the Texas legislature broke the county of Refugio into two counties. So now we have Refugio County with Refugio as a county seat. We have Aransas County as county, with Rockport as a county seat. And that's what happened, is why Rockport had their celebration a year before the county, because at the time Rockport was formed, it was still Refugio County. And this is a little confusing to people. That's where we are. So we're going to celebrate the county's Sesquicentennial.
I'm still trying to figure out how you get Rotary out of that.
So there's just so much history in our community. Sometimes people don't realize how much we have here, but we are really going to base this celebration on the history that we can relate to people. And you see here, of course, the Stella Morris Chapel, as well as the Fulton Grill House with costumed people. So we're going to begin to celebrate in whatever ways we can to call attention to our sites, our historic markers, and other things around town. And what we've done is bring together a committee of about 20, 25 people, and we've started with our venues in town. So all of our venues are going to have special exhibits that will be featuring history and the Sesquicentennial. So one of the first ones that's going to come up is the Texas Memorial Museum, and they are really working hard to redo their floor, but their first exhibit will be about the Karankawa Indians. It's going to be interactive and a lot of fun. And that'll probably come online in March. We'll begin to have something happening almost every month. Then later in May, the History Center is opening a brand new exhibit called Voices from the Past. And also the Fulton Mansion will have a new exhibit, sort of a then and now, with photographs showing what historic sites looked like then in the 1800s and what they look like today. So this will be an ongoing thing that starts in the spring, and we'll bring people in, we'll send them between the sites so that everybody can get just a little bit more history there. The Cultural Arts District, of course, will be featuring the depot as soon as they can do something there. If not really at the depot, at least in the Cultural Arts District. Then we're going to have 4 homes with actors portraying the stories of the families that lived in those 4 homes. We have 4 homes that were actually built in the 1868, and so they are the 4 homes that were actually here in 1871. for the county. We'll have tour of cemeteries and the stroll of Rockport. So we have the stroll that features all the historic markers in the downtown area, and that usually begins at the Visitor Center or at the History Center. And we'll also have this dedication of the monument, which has already been created for this sesquicentennial. There was a centennial marker that was at the courthouse, and it's in storage now. So we matched that monument with the sesquicentennial monument. So we'll have a 100-year and 150-year monuments when the new courthouse is put together. We're going to be unveiling that monument on January 30th at 4 o'clock at the History Center. So that monument will rest at the History Center until the new courthouse is ready. Founders Day breakfast is going to be a kickoff in June because we got together. The committee voted that they felt that the month of June was the best time to really have a focus of events. So we're going to be focusing beginning on June 12th through June 20th. That's 2 weekends. And we'll begin with this Founders Day breakfast, which Rotary is organizing, okay? So we've got JD and Steve who are working on that. The Historical Society is working on the program, and also we'll be doing a lot of setup with historic photos and memorabilia that will be really interesting to make that morning a lot of fun. In the afternoon, we're going to have a county fair, and the AgriLife folks and the Children's Coalition are working on that to really create something that will be targeting the youth and families. So we hope that all of those things will fit together. On the Sunday, churches will be relating their history from the pulpits and bringing that really down to their level. Many of the churches actually were formed by 1871, so it'll be interesting to hear those stories, I think, as well. The next weekend we'll have old-fashioned parade, and that's going to be, I think, a lot of fun. Market days will also be going on that weekend. So we're going to have, a series of events that will all tie together in June. So we hope you put that on your calendar. Invite folks to come into the community for those. I think it's going to be a really big showcase of what we've got here as far as history goes. So we hope that you'll join us for a lot of these events. Okay?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Janet Taylor, whom you may or may not know, she's a lifelong family member here, donated these wonderful photos, and they were pretty well faded, and Becky Sanders, she's now Story, did some helped make these a lot nicer than they originally were. So we were very happy and proud to have them.
This is of the
1970 Centennial Parade. Now, the unveiling of the memorial stone we're real proud of that. Pam and I went out to the service center, Rockport Service Center, and we measured and took measurements, and then Mr. Harrison from the Harrison Monument Company came out, and he and I went out and looked at it again. He took measurements again, and he wanted to match the color of what the Centennial Monument looked like. So we're real proud of that. So that's going to take place. I think Pam's already talked to you about what's going on the 30th. And the debut of the Historical Marker Guide, which is real exciting. We've been working on that since November of 2018 because it hadn't been updated for 10 years. So we're real proud of the effort that we took, and Mr. John Jackson has been a very gracious advertiser for us in that. And so we appreciate him and all the other advertisers that put this together. So in 2010, I think we had 36 markers, and now we have 76 markers.
Wow.
So there's been a lot of work done in 10 years. Okay, next.
And that event, they're gonna ask all of the people that those markers they have connection with, or that they're there, to please join in at that 4 o'clock time frame. And you guys are all invited as well. Yeah, come on out. They'll debut the historical marker guide as well as show the people connected with it. And then unveil the monument that'll go in Celebration Plaza when the courthouse is finished.
Well, Mike Probst, of course, Diane doesn't know him, but anyway, Mike Probst is putting it together, and he's worked on it very diligently. So it's going to be 15,000 copies that will be published and sent out in the community, so that people do know what markers are up and available, and then go watch and look and stroll. It's very interesting. And there's our new monument, and you can see what it took to. It took a big dolly to move that. We did it over at the History Center. But you'll notice in the background, we have a lot more going on. We have the Shell Creek, which was part of the bunker house in Lamar, which Dee McGlowan called and said, it fell in Harvey. This whole east wall fell in Harvey. So we got John Lee, and he masterminded getting it because it's in blocks. And he masterminded getting it picked up, brought from Lamar to the History Center, and he built that himself to hold on to that Shell Creek. And then we had one more little thing. The rock, that's Rocky Point. And when the Navigation District was dredging Rockport Harbor, they hit that limestone rock. And that was what Rockport was named after. That's how the history of that. So again, I was liaison from Commissioner's Court and to the NAV, and when Keith Barrett talked about that they hit it, my hand went up. I want it. So we went out and picked out the piece. Vicki Marchand picked out the rock she wanted, and there it is. So we saved a little piece of Rockport there. Anyway, you all are involved, and we really do appreciate that. You are sponsoring. We always add people to the committee. There's a lot of work, as you can see, that goes into this. And so if you'll participate, be a part of it, be active in it, we would appreciate it very, very much. We also are in the process of putting together merchandise. We've got a Sesquicentennial mug. We have a nice flag. We've got a challenge coin. I call it a commemorative coin, but actually the actual name is challenge coin. And you're going to see that here in a minute. But anyway, these are our sponsors. If we want to pass out the sheet, if you all want to help us. We're trying to raise money. So join the fund. I'm sure Adelaide, you know this gentleman over here to the right.
Y'all have some of those. Anyone else?
And this is our committee.
This is the sponsor.
So we've got, we can always add more, but this is our committee. And this is
The county, yeah.
This is the county 71 celebrations. Yeah, but look at the cars. Aren't they neat?
Yes. Yeah, you could survive a wreck in one of those.
Yeah. But anyway, Pam Farrell, who has Tropical Smoothie, is doing the parade for us, and it's going to be phenomenal. There's our challenge coin to the right. I love it. I think it's so neat. And then our flag will be a 3x5 flag, and that's our mug, and it's a 16-ounce mug. So I have some mugs in the car. Anyway, thank you so much for putting up with us, and hope we didn't interrupt too much of your time.
No.